Hey everyone, and welcome back. As you might know, we're going through quite a big transitioning period right now, so we thought we'd have a little fun this week, and this is kind of a callback if you've been following along for a while. Early on, we had a start of Buslife Q&A, so we thought it'd be fun to have the end of Buslife Q&A. So we'll be answering some of the questions that you guys have been asking, as well as giving you guys an update on where we are with selling the bus and buying the van.
So if you missed our last couple of videos, we decided to sell our bus and transition into a van, which we are going to be building out ourselves. So we're temporarily renting an apartment in Salt Lake City, and we will be doing the entire conversion in a makerspace in Salt Lake City.
So with that, we'll start with our very first question. What is the update on selling the bus and buying the van? So in short, we've had a number of people interested in the bus, but nothing firm yet. So as of the day that we were recording this, we've not sold the bus yet.
So we also have not bought a van yet. We've been looking very seriously. We know that we want a high roof cargo van, and that's pretty much the only limits we're putting on it.
Yeah, if I'm being honest, I did not anticipate it being this hard to find a reasonable van.
They're just really popular, which is making it extra hard to find a van.
Yeah.
So.
But we are getting close on that front, and we'll keep you updated in the next video. I think we'll have a pretty big update then. So moving on, have you given any thought to naming the new van?
Yes. We actually have a name picked out for the new van.
So I'd love to hear what you guys think the new name is in the comments. And we'll give one hint. It is that it is related to the bus's name, which is Saguaro.
Yeah.
It might be loosely related, but it is related. We'll shout you out if you can guess it. All right, next question. Do you want to read it?
Are there things in the bus that won't be being built in the van that either of you will miss? If so, what are they?
Oh, I think I have an answer.
I have one.
It's probably the same one.
You want to say it on 3?
Yeah. 1, 2, 3.
Shower. Aw!
Yeah.
Surprise. Yeah.
So obviously with a van that is probably about half the square footage, something's gonna have to go. And so right now we're leaning towards the shower. I know we're gonna have a lot of mixed feelings about that, but you know, new chapter, new us. We're thinking about being a lot more mobile, using public gyms and community centers like most of, you know, the smaller van life community uses. So we're interested to try out something new. It's not necessarily like we don't want to shower. It's just that's the thing. That's the thing that's lowest on the list right now, and that might have to go.
It's strange too, because for the entire time that we were living in the bus, this is the only shower that we used. We exclusively showered inside the bus. We never did like gym showers or anything like that. So it's kind of a weird change to go from that to not having one in the build. But that's kind of what we're leaning towards, and I think it'll be a fun challenge.
What kind of van are you looking for? Will it be an extended van? Will you show us the build?
We will definitely be showing the build. We will have a full build series coming out on our channel that we are trying to start as soon as possible. So
we promise, guys, we're trying to get into this build as quickly as possible. I hope it doesn't seem like we're dragging our feet because we were trying so hard on our side. So that being said, I feel like what type of van we're looking for, honestly right now, we've thought about the 3 major ones that you always hear about: the Sprinters, the ProMasters, and the Transits. We are right now leaning towards the ProMaster just because of the width. The width is, they're the widest of those 3 vans, and so we could do a lot with that and save a lot more room. Of those 3, that's what we're leaning towards. So, I mean, we'd love to hear what other people have out there and, you know, which ones you would recommend as well. So with that, I think we've almost sweated ourselves to death. So we're gonna move inside the makerspace to some air conditioning and answer a few more questions. Okay, much better.
all right, don't look at, all right.
All right, what's the next question?
What happened to Banff Bound?
That's a good question. So for those of you who don't know, Banff Bound was our plan or our journey to go to Canada. Obviously we're not doing that right now. Some, you know, life happened and we're here.
Banff is definitely still on our bucket list, and I'm hoping that that's something we'll be able to get to in our van.
But as you might know, winter's coming, and so by the time we're done with the van, it'll probably be winter, and we probably don't want to go up to Canada in December or January or whenever we're done. So it'll happen, but I think we'll just have to push it off until next year.
Real quick, we want to talk about today's sponsor, Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning platform designed for creatives and lifelong learners. So much of what Jimmy and I have learned how to do we were able to learn online. It's really incredible what you're able to teach yourself from your own home. Skillshare makes it easier than ever to learn and develop new skills. They have courses on a massive range of topics. You can learn about DSLR photography, how to create amazing watercolor paintings, or even self-care. I actually just finished taking the Ultimate Self-Care Playbook by Jonathan Van Ness. This course was an excellent reminder that taking time for yourself is not selfish, and it's actually a really important investment that moves you towards being the best possible version of yourself. Also, the first 1,000 people to click the link in our description will get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. What are your plans for the rest of the year?
It's a very good question.
Our goal is to finish the van in a couple of months before winter hits, and once it does, we want to head south, probably back to Arizona, and we want to be around for Skoolie Palooza in 2023 in January. So it should be in Arizona. So if you wanna meet us there, we will do our best to make it. So that would be, you guys should try to make it too.
Yeah, it's kind of funny how much what's happening now is mirroring what happened in the bus when basically we started the build and our whole plan was to finish the build, do a road trip, and make it to Skoolie Palooza. And that's how we started, our bus journey or whatever you want to call it. And it's funny because we're pretty much going to do the exact same thing, but in a van this time. So we'll build it out and pretty much immediately take a road trip to Skoolie Palooza, which is usually in late January for those who don't know. But we'll probably hit up some spots in the south that we missed before. We kind of had to fly by New Mexico, and honestly, we skipped a lot of Arizona. Mm-hmm. So we'll figure something out. But that's pretty much how we'll end this year, most likely.
Most likely, unless I can talk Jimmy into going to Mexico.
That'll happen too, so.
Yeah, at some point it will.
Yeah.
Natalie, will you drive the van at all since it's smaller than the bus? Yes, definitely. I drove the bus a little bit, but not very much. I really like to drive, so I'm looking forward to that with the van.
I think it started when we first started our trip. We were in the mountains of North Carolina, and both of us didn't have much experience with driving the bus, so I just ended up driving it more. And as time went on, I got more experience and Natalie didn't, and so I just ended up driving the bus the whole time, which was not the plan from the start, but that's just how it happened. But with the van, it'll be different. Why not stay in the bus and get jobs for a while? So we've gotten this question a lot. So basically, what we've wanted to do from day one is travel. When we started building the bus, it wasn't supposed to always be about the bus. It was about the freedom of traveling full time and just exploring and having, an adventure every day, that kind of deal. And so as much as we love the bus, I think we've found a different solution that allows us to keep traveling and not stop and get a job. Another important thing to note about that is that if we stop and get jobs, we would have to stop making videos. And that's just something we really don't want to do.
Yeah, we love traveling and we love making YouTube videos, and starting over with a new van is a path that will allow us to continue doing those things that we love. So I guess that's basically, we definitely could get jobs if we wanted to, and that's kind of something we always have on the back burner as a last resort.
It's just more fun not to.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Until it's a last resort, we don't really want to do it.
Yeah.
Do either of you have hobbies you haven't shown on camera?
That is probably a very embarrassing question because there's not an exciting answer to that.
We like video editing. I don't usually show us editing.
Yeah, we like to do that. We both like to game. Board games are pretty fun. We both got into D&D a while back for about a year. And we like, video games in general. But we have not really done any of that in about a year and a half since it's not really feasible while you're traveling in a bus. So those are kind of, older hobbies.
Yeah, the hobbies like the traveling and the exploring and hiking that you see in our videos, those are our biggest interests and are the things that are most important and highest priority to us. So we've kind of built our lives around being able to do those things. But the thing, you might not know about us is we do like gaming. We just don't, it's not as big of a priority to us, so we don't do it very often, but it is fun. Ooh.
So those were more travel related questions. And so now we've got a handful of what I'm calling the juicy questions, where it's just a little bit more about our personalities and more things you might not know about us.
The things that are going to get us into trouble.
Yeah. So we'll start off with a good one. What annoys you most about the other person? I don't annoy her at all. That's actually a fact. And I'm actually perfect. I don't know if you knew that or even if she knew that. All right, what is it? You can go first.
It's really hard to like pick something. Like,
I've got like 3 things already. I'm just kidding.
I bet you do. I get that, but sometimes Jimmy will occasionally like form a new habit of like making a noise. For the longest time, he would do like.
That sounds so stupid. But I'll explain why. It's because, right, it's pretty much just the 2 of us at all times. And one thing I noticed was if I don't say anything after a long time, she thinks I'm mad at her. And so I think just subconsciously, I've picked up just like making a funny, cute little sound every now and then just to say like, I'm not mad at you, Natalie. I'm just
happy noise.
I'm just hanging out over here doing my thing.
In a good mood.
Yeah. So I think it's just backfired and she don't like it, but it's such a habit now because I don't want her to think I'm mad at her. I don't know if anyone else can relate to that, but that's why that happens.
Yeah, I feel like communication's a big part of that because like hearing a noise like every once in a while is not bad, but when I notice like he's starting to do it more and more and it seems more subconscious and I hear it a couple times a day, I'll just like try to say very nicely, Jimmy, I think you're forming a habit of making that sound. You're gonna drive me crazy.
Alright, so speaking of sounds, I feel like, and you might know what this is.
The thing that annoys you about me?
Yeah. So if I had to pick one, I'd probably say it's the way she sneezes.
Oh yeah.
When she sneezes, she forms she breaks the sonic barrier, or is that how you'd say it?
I wouldn't. I think I sneeze fine.
No.
But
she when she sneezes, I don't even know if she like covers because it's so loud, and it forms this sonic boom radiating from her head, and it like shatters all glass in the area. That's probably number 1 on my list.
Yeah.
Which is not bad, right? It's just the sneeze.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll find something worse, like, in the next 8 years. No. How did you guys meet and how long have you been together? So we've been together, in September, it will be 8 years. And we met through mutual friends at the very beginning of college.
We were almost high school sweethearts because we actually did go to the same high school, but there was one small problem, and that was we never actually talked. So I knew her name, but we never met. So it wasn't until college that we actually started hanging out more and then started dating. And then I feel like that leads into the next one. When are you guys getting married?
Oh yeah, so Jimmy proposed a couple years ago.
It was a year and a half.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it was a year and a half ago.
It's not a couple years yet.
I said yes, obviously. But we don't know when we're going to get married. We're not really in any kind of big hurry to have a wedding. Planning something like that just sounds like a lot of work.
Yeah, and we have a lot of other big projects that keep coming up, new bus, new van.
Yeah, there's things that we like just feel like we'd rather put our energy into, like traveling together and spending time together, and we just aren't really in any hurry, but
yeah,
we'll get married one day.
Yeah. As soon as we don't have any other big projects to work on, we'll probably, go all out and, have a fun little nature wedding or whatever it would be like. Do either of you miss spending time with family or friends?
Of course, yeah. That's a big downside to living on the road.
I think we were kind of built for this, though, because, I think we can handle it better than other people that might get homesick. I don't think we've really gotten homesick. I think it just helps just having so much technology where we can call our family and friends.
It helps having each other, like one other person, I feel like makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
Are we going to read this one?
Yeah. Right, this is a fun one.
You guys obviously have incomes. Why not go all in and buy a Sprinter van ready to go? Like a pre-converted Sprinter is how I'm interpreting this.
Yeah, so I don't know what type of income you guys think we have, but this is us going all out. As nice as it would be to buy a pre-converted Sprinter van, I don't think we could do that right now.
No, that's not.
Maybe in the future.
Yeah, maybe. Distant future. But yeah, we're pretty far off from being able to do something like that.
Yeah.
We're just excited that we can do this, because this is a cool next step, like getting a van and converting it ourselves. Plus, there is a certain charm to converting it yourself. You can really customize it. So
yeah, I really enjoy it. I mean, it's not something I want to do every month, but every year or two, it's a fun thing to work on for a couple months.
Yeah.
What made you both decide to do a YouTube channel?
It just seemed like a fun idea. Like, we were both working our jobs separately, where we didn't see each other very much during the day, and we just wanted something that we could do together that would be creative and that we had kind of creative control over, and YouTube just seemed like the best way to do that. We actually tested the waters before we quit our jobs by doing, like, we took a long weekend one time and went camping, and our goal for that weekend, for that vacation, was to make a vlog. So we did that just to make sure that we could do it and that we enjoyed it, and that just kind of solidified, like, all right, this is something that we could really put our efforts behind and really lean into.
And I feel like that works into the next question. How did you start building your YouTube, and what is a good piece of advice as I work towards my dream of a nomadic life?
So the first part was, how did you start building your YouTube?
Yeah. I feel like YouTube is 50% work, 50% luck. I feel like is a lot of it. There's obviously a lot of hard work that goes behind the scenes, but I think it started in the first episode where, before we even started filming, we just wanted to make sure that we were always showing our real personalities, I guess, and not trying to hide any of that. And we just kind of started going with that from day one, and I think that really helped us.
We also just tried to start off with a very consistent schedule, because it's really scary getting started on something that you're new with. Forcing yourself to put something out, like, really kind of helped us get the ball rolling, and we learned as we went. We did a couple things in the beginning, like a couple editing choices, and that we probably wouldn't repeat, but you can't wait till you have it perfect. You got to just learn on the go.
And the second part of that question was, what's a good piece of advice for me to take with me as I work towards my dream of a nomadic life?
I put a lot of weight behind, like, answering that, because, like, I really want to help. Like, if you want to live a nomadic life, it's like, if you feel like that's what you're meant to do, like, you got to go for it. And that's always the advice I give, but I'll try to, we could probably come up with something a little bit more concrete other than just do it, just go for it, you know? Like, what would you say?
I'd say lay out in your mind what the worst case scenario would be if it didn't work out. I think that's what helped us, because it was about 2 years of saving up and planning before we even quit our jobs and started this. And so during that time, we did a lot of planning, and we figured out what the worst case scenario was and decided what we would do if things got that bad, which is basically just go get a job. I mean, there's more to it than that, but
yeah.
So I think just that piece of advice of just figure out what the worst case scenario is and make sure you're okay with it might be the easiest thing to focus on, because no matter what, it's going to be scary to start a nomadic life. But, if it's something you're passionate about, it will be worth it.
And I think what I would probably tack on to that, it's a bit of a different direction for the question, is I think one thing that helped us a lot is getting a really good understanding of our finances. And in our previous life, I was a financial analyst. So it's something that I was really interested in, and I think that helped us a lot. And I guess a good lead to look into, if you don't know where to start with that, is the FIRE movement, which stands for Financial Independence and Retire Early. It's an acronym, and there's a whole community built around it about how to save your money in a way that allows you to gain financial freedom. And there's not like a product to sell with it. It's just kind of a nice mindset that really helped us make sure that we were prepared to quit our jobs and take such a huge risk. Those are all the questions that we had picked out. Thank you guys so much for leaving them. If you missed this, make sure that you check our community tab. If we're gonna miss an upload or anything like that, or if we're asking for Q&A questions, that's usually where we put things like that. Make sure that you're subscribed and with notifications on so you can check that out next time there's something like this.
I hope we answered all of your juicy questions. And we'll be back next Monday with another update video. And like we mentioned earlier, I'm crossing my fingers, but I think we might have some pretty big updates coming next week.
Well, thank you guys so much for watching.
We'll see you next week.
Bye.